And now, live from the Steel Twins recording studio in beautiful Traverse City, Michigan, it's your boys, the Cannonball, the Cannon, the Steel Twins. What's up, everybody? It's Wednesday night, and you know what that means.
That's right, voice acting night, baby.
Absolutely. We thank you once again for your patience and for your support this Wednesday night. We are ready to continue down the rabbit hole, as it were, what is the captive turnabout? You know, I keep blanking on these episode names, but yes, the murder of Bronco Knight and the investigation therein. And we found out quite a lot about our story, our antagonist, our nemesis. We have you told me her name earlier, Judge Eustace Gavelle, and
Verity Gavelle and Eustace Winner. Yes, Verity Gavelle and Eustace Winner.
There you go. Twice is the charm. And Eustace Winner, by the way, he leaves a much deeper impression on me just because he's so bad. Not bad guy, boo. He's so bad as a prosecutor. He's such a nitwit.
Yeah, he sucks.
He absolutely sucks, and he's full of himself on top of it. So, so Verity Gavelle obviously has taken, if you caught up with us during our 4-hour episode last week, Verity Gavelle has stripped Edgeworth off of the case of Bronco Knight and given it to Eustace Winner. And so in order to get back into it, he had to team up with his friend from the past and defense attorney, Eddie Fender. So in a way, he's working for his late father's company as a defense attorney's assistant. So what a revelation that is. So and we found out quite a lot of information. And I'll just urge you guys to go watch the archives on YouTube to get caught up on the story. But and also don't forget, we thank you so much for all those who came over to watch the Mario Day stream and who will watch it in the archives. It was a ton of fun. I think this is something we're going to try to do every single year. We might end up making a week of it instead of having it Mario Day. Let's do Mario Week. Where we play a different series of Mario games, including some more of the more obscure ones. I think we need to play the Mario and Raving Rabbids or whatever they're called.
Oh yeah, I remember that game series.
Yeah, so that's one idea. But yes, we always have the Legend of Zelda Tuesdays. Nostalgic Mondays is always a thing.
Speaking of which, Nostalgic Monday. This Monday, I will be kicking us off with Donkey Kong Country 2: Diddy's Kong Quest.
Absolutely, I think it's supposed to be one of the rarest games in the series.
Not to mention the best of the bunch.
Yeah, that's what the rumor mill is. And then don't forget Metroid Prime Sundays leading up to the release of Metroid Prime 4, and any
Beyond.
others and beyond. That's correct. And something I'm going to try to see if I can squeeze in a Diablo stream now and then on my channel. So probably this channel. I don't know if I'm going to make a third separate channel for just me. But you know what? We've rambled long enough. I think it's time for our second favorite part of the show. The first one's just going through it. So here you go. If you have a cap to your bottle or a pin on your can, you go ahead and pull that pin back or twist that cap off.
With a twisty twist.
Hey, package. What time is it?
It's time to get bombed.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, mate.
Ooh, that tastes real good. C4 Skittles.
Mine too. Gotta love me some cherry popsicle.
Mm-hmm. I thought I got 2 cherry popsicles, but apparently that wasn't the case. Live scene Yeah, let's get.
And yes, I hear that music.
That's right. Get you jazzed up. In New Orleans, we jazz it up.
It was Zatarans. So yeah, I basically posted on the chat just to give it a test here. Let's do this.
I see it loud and proud, man. Absolutely. Yep. Okay. Okay. So, so this prison apparently has animals in it. I mean, apparently it's a rehabilitation facility that also, not takes advantage of, but I don't know. I mean, I guess it allows inmates to commune with animals and helps with their rehab. So here we go. So we are going to continue and possibly conclude episode 2, The Captive Turnabout.
Let's go, ladies. We're on the clock. Time to go to work.
Yep. And we're going to investigate the Very Big Circus. Shout out to
Turnabout Big Top.
Yep.
But first, March 28th, 3:02 p.m. Detention Center, Visitors Room.
Hey, are we going to run into Maximilian?
Galactica? No.
Oh, God, I hope so. Anyway, here we go. Yeah, he's in trouble. You've been withholding information.
You withheld information from me. Why? I didn't withhold anything, or at least I didn't mean to.
Okay, so you are a member of the very big circus, right?
No, I mean, yes, but no. Yes or no, you idiot?
I mean, you're
Spit it out.
Listen.
Not really a member. I'm still new.
That still means you're a member.
That's irrelevant. You're still a member.
Literally and figuratively. Phrasing. Uh-oh. Hey. Get him off the floor.
Let's try this again. Why didn't you tell us?
Because it would have looked so suspicious. Me being a performer in a circus show. And me being friends with Bronco. I thought that if anyone found out, nobody would believe I was innocent. Not even you, Kay. I thought I'd made it clear that I believed in you. But when you stare at me like that, I get so terrified.
You're a real smooth operator, aren't you, Miles? Any other client scaring tips you want to share?
You're really not helping, Fender. And at this rate, it sounds like we really will need to question him about everything all over again.
So, what do you do at the circus, Simeon?
I'm an animal tamer. Kind of. I'm still learning the ropes.
That's so cool! Do you get to train lions and tigers and bears and stuff?
Oh my.
Oh my! Yes, lions, tigers, bears! Oh my! No!
Why do I keep thinking of the jokes right before they're gonna happen?
Oh my gosh.
I'm 3 for 3 so far.
I work with this little guy.
Oh,
what?
No,
What the?
Not this.
It's not money, is it?
Not this asshole again.
Looks pretty tame already to me.
Just don't have anything shiny out. See, not exactly a tamer. More like one of those old-timey organ grinders.
No money. I'm trying to... Oh, you little scamp. It is him!
Yeah. He's a puppet master.
Something tells me it's the organ grinder who's being monkeyed around.
Hold on, I gotta do this one. Give me a second. 3, 2, 1. It's so bad. The Very Big Circus.
when we spoke to you before, you said you worked at a company. It was telling the truth. The circus really is a company. We all have titles and everything.
He's not wrong.
The ringmaster's the CEO. Russell Berry, perhaps?
I wonder if he's still alive. I wonder if he's still alive at this time. Or is
Maybe
this
he already
after,
died.
or is this after his murder? I don't know. We'll find out.
The ringmaster's the CEO, and I guess you call me a gopher.
You need the PH in there, brother. Anyway.
I even have a line manager. She's head of the animal teaming department. It's part of the showbiz division. She's such an inspiration. There isn't a creature in the world she couldn't convince to do her bidding.
And
you don't mean you're not talking about Regina Berry, are you?
I'm thinking he is. Even Miles here? I'd like to see somebody whip him into shape.
I am not some kind of creature, Fender.
Oh, come on. Lighten up, Edgeworth.
So, this line manager, was she working with you on the show? Yes, it was just us two. It wasn't all that big of a job compared to what we normally do. She's usually the one performing on stage. I just do all the monkey work. But I did have a big part this time. So only 2 members of the circus are relevant to this case.
The line manager and the gopher. Roll in the show.
All right. Talk me through your movements here at the facility. Sure. I came to see Bronco at around noon 2 days ago. And that was when you brought him the chess set? Yes, and that same evening, I started work on setting up the stage in the yard.
Interesting.
It was so hard. I had to haul everything in by myself over multiple trips.
Oh, boy. He's a gangly-looking fella, too, so...
They let us use one of the rooms in the prison for storage. Workshop A, I think.
Ah, so that's why nobody's used Workshop A in a couple of days.
Workshop A, where Knight's body was found.
You mean your boss didn't help you?
Oh no, I could never ask her to schlep all that stuff around. Like I said, the monkey's work's my job. Once it was all set up, we did a run through, and it must have been, midnight by the time I left. The next morning, I was back and ready for the show, which started at 8 a.m. Then we performed till 10? So Mr. Saint was the only one of the pair to have entered the room where the body was found.
Doesn't necessarily mean he did it. Now remember, that dog was the one that bit him. Okay? Anyway.
And Knight's body was found immediately after the show had ended.
So he can't be our perp. He can't.
Reason for arrest. Do you have any idea why you were arrested?
And why so quickly? I've never seen a guy get booked so fast. Surely even Lil Winner wouldn't just pull somebody in on a hunch.
Never underestimate the power of an underdeveloped intellect.
How sadly true that is.
I think I might know why. When I was moving all the stuff, I went to go see how he was doing.
Uh-oh.
Bronco, I mean.
Uh-oh.
Oh, boy. You went to the holding cells on your own? Tell me you had permission. No, it wasn't a formal visit or anything. So I just sort of snuck over and hoped no one stopped me.
Oh, you dumbass. Oh, jeez.
But you just seen him earlier that same day. Why take the risk? I've known him since we were kids, when both of us were all alone. He doesn't have any family, you see, just like me.
Are we seriously going to get backstory on this guy?
I think. I knew he'd be feeling lonely, that he'd want somebody to talk to. So I had to go see him.
Let me see here. went to the holding cell. So he didn't go to the prison on his own, but still. Anyway.
You don't have any family? For a while, I had my dad, but he passed away when I was a little kid.
Oh, dear. I know somebody else's dad passed away when he was a little kid.
Losing one's father as a child. I know that pain all too well.
He's just like you and me, Mr. Edgeworth.
Oop, that makes 3.
Yep, 3 guys. How about that? There was nobody else nearby when you went to see him? No. The other holding cells were empty, and I didn't see any guards.
Well, somebody must have seen you, or you wouldn't be in there.
Oh, no. No. I messed up so bad, didn't I? So the assumption is that something happened while the two were alone together. At least, I imagine that would be Winner and Judge Gavelle's thinking. In any case, I think we'll need to speak to your boss next. Last I heard, she's supposed to be around today too, somewhere in the yard. Tell her I'm sorry, won't you? I'm so sorry. I can't believe I let this happen.
What happened? You didn't do anything.
Sure thing, Simeon. We're here for you. If there's anything else we can do, just say the word.
But, I mean, that is, there's nothing I can do for you in return.
You don't have to worry about that. We're friends. We know what it's like to be in your shoes. We're all part of the same club, after all. Right, Mr. Edgeworth?
Unfortunately so, I'm afraid. Thank you for sharing such personal details with us. By the sound of it, you had little reason to kill Knight.
How about no reason?
No reason at all. If anything, you're the one most affected by his passing. And what's more, I simply don't believe a person as gentle as you is capable of murder. Rest assured, we believe you, and we will get you out of here.
Well, what do we have here? Gosh darn defense attorney, that's what. Bravo, big guy. I can't believe I'm saying it, but you even reminded me of your old man for a moment there.
I did?
From the Book of Gregory, an attorney is a friend to the friendless. Simeon, me bucko, this guy'll suffer any hardship for your friendship. Things are gonna be shiply amazing.
I didn't realize Talk Like a Pirate Day had come early this year, Fender.
Hey, Maddie likes the stream.
Maddie!
Yep. And both you and Alex have a great evening, and hope you stick around for a little bit. Anyway, but that's just the thing. You never know when a pirate will strike next. Anyway, kid, you want some candy? What the fuck?
No thanks. I don't like sweet stuff. Who doesn't like sweet stuff?
Oh, bummer.
I wouldn't mind a nice ship myself.
Come on, Kay.
A great thief's galleon for the dread pirate K. Yahar, me hearties! We'll sail the 7 seas together and claim the greatest treasure of all, the truth.
Shiver me timbers. You two will be the death of me. Come on, let's set sail for the prison yard. But no sea shanties on the way, please.
Oh, come on, you killjoy. All right, here we go.
Whatever, man.
Look, the shutter's open.
Oh, that's up to the yard.
That's the way out to the yard, I believe.
Let's go take a look. Come on, what are you waiting for?
Someone's excited. Well, let's see. Here we are. March 28th, 3:37 p.m. Prison, yard.
More tarps in the corner. Go ahead. There's a piece of chalk line over there. Anyway, keep going.
So this is the famous yard. The circus performance was taking place here just before the body was discovered.
Try it again.
The circus performance was taking place here just before the body was discovered.
You're still on cave, dude.
Well, damn it.
Okay.
One more time for the people in the cheap seats.
And one more time with feeling.
The circus performance was taking place here just before the body was discovered.
Check it out. It's like the backdrop to some epic festival.
Oh, wait.
Where's she going?
Most of the prisoners were assembled here when the body was discovered, which means that anyone who saw the show has an alibi. Building layout data updated in my organizer. Continue.
Oh, okay.
Same sentence every time. All right, time to take a look around. Okay.
Hey, what? Oh, Jesus.
Stop hitting me! Help, Mr. Edgeworth!
Cease and desist, you beast!
Somebody! Ouch! Help! Ow! Me! Stay, Jose! Stay! Who's that?
I knew
There's Regina.
Oh, you found a new friend to play with. Good for you, girl. Play with? Your elephant nearly ate me! No way! She'd never do a thing like that. Azia doesn't even bite. At least, not very often.
So she does have a taste for human flesh.
Man.
How did you like meeting a real live elephant up close? Aren't you glad you did?
Time out. I'm making an executive decision.
How did you like meeting a real live elephant up close? Aren't you glad you did? Yeah, glad I didn't die. But you did have fun, right? Right?
There it is, sweetie. Don't cry. She had a wonderful time, didn't you, Kay?
Don't mislead the poor girl, Fender.
She did? Oh, I'm so happy.
Here, let me make it up to you. How about a hug? Keep your trunk to yourself. Jesus.
Oh, another new friend. Isn't this just the best day ever?
I am Associate Defense Attorney Miles Edgeworth. Finally got it right, did ya?
Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. I hadn't even introduced myself. I'm Regina. It's so nice to meet you. I'm Kay, Great Thief Extraordinaire, and Mr. Associate Defense Attorney's Great Associate.
This self-introduction brought to you by the word convoluted.
And your elephant's newest friend is Mr. Fender, the defense attorney. Oh, she's not just any elephant. That's Azia, the Asian elephant. Azia stopped the second you told her to. You really have a way with animals, Regina. Well, I wouldn't be much of an animal tamer if I didn't. What? So you're Simeon's boss? That's right, Regina Berry, head of the Animal Taming Department, Showbiz Division, Berry Big Circus. It's so lovely to meet all of you.
So, looks like Regina is filling some her father's shoes. How about that?
There you
Like
go.
father, like daughter.
Yeah, well, I don't know who's the big cheese, but pleasure's all ours, mademoiselle. Name's Eddie Fender. I'm a bit of an ace attorney. I told you there's only one ace attorney in this series, and his name is...
Phoenix Wright!
Get it right? I'm just kidding. So anyway,
So much for whipping me into shape.
Yes, she's perfect.
Oh, is she thinking what I think she is?
Uh-oh. What are you muttering to yourself about, Kay?
That positivity, that charisma, that energy. Regina, you'd make a perfect partner in crime for the great thief Yanagarasu.
Great thief? That sounds like fun. My animals and I have stood in the spotlight quite a bit in our time.
That's the one thing we don't want to steal. Gotta keep it on the down low, all stealthy ninja-like.
Oh, where's the fun without a show? The down low sounds like it might get me down.
Bummer. I think we got a fundamental difference of opinion going on here.
Now you're getting it packaged, well timed.
It would indeed appear that negotiations have broken down. Maybe next time, Kay.
Okay.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, let's get cracking.
Damn right, sister.
Too bad we can't see much of what's beyond that metal fence, though.
Yeah, no kidding. You touch that, you'd get turned into toast.
Yep. Indeed. And we're in sore need of information in addition to evidence. Therefore, we should make an effort to talk with any persons of interest as well.
All right. Well, I know exactly what I'm doing first.
Yep. Talk to Regina. Regina Berry. If you're the head of the animal taming department, you must be Mr. Saint's boss.
That's right. My dad founded the Very Big Circus. But he passed away. He was murdered.
Yep.
I'm sorry to hear that.
But we have a new ringmaster now, and he's made the circus bigger and better than ever. He's such a nice man, and he was a good friend of my dad's, too.
Wow, that's great. Lucky you.
$20 says it's Maximilian Galactica.
Oh boy, if it is.
I know, right? It was his idea to set up departments like animal taming, magic, and ventriloquy. Only animal taming and ventriloquy have more than one person right now. But the Very Big Circus is getting bigger and better day by day.
Watch out for Ben and Trilo.
Sounds like you guys are really going places.
They're getting on well. I'll leave them to it. Circus show. Can you tell me about the show?
Oh, it's a wonderful thing. It even has a story. And not just any story, it's a love story. Isn't that dreamy?
Sounds like a regular riot. So who's the star of the show? Let me guess. You?
No, silly, that would be Azalea. And she falls in love with none other than Regent the Tiger.
Huh? Okay. Well, whatever floats your boat, sister.
It's a heart-rending saga of forbidden interspecies romance.
No, that's called bestiality. Oh my God, that's terrible. Lord, I apologize. Whoa, Nelly. I've heard of odd couples, but that takes the biscuit. Dude, it's called the cake. Oh my God.
And that's not all. There's a love triangle too. It's so romantic.
That sounds pretty incredible, huh, Mr. Edgeworth?
More like creepy as shit.
So the elephant is the heroine? I suppose there's a first time for everything.
And who's the third wheel?
Oh, that would be the big old meanie who tries to tear our star-crossed lovers apart.
Ooh, what animal do you think it is, Mr. Edgeworth?
$10 says it's not an animal.
Given that it's a circus, perhaps a lion? Oh, now hold on a second. No, not the lion. The lion was dead. Russell Berry had to put him down because of that incident, remember? Anyways.
I think a rave will be cool, like the Yaligarasu.
Nope, it's a sneaky monkey.
I guess I should.
Money!
I guess I should have thought. I guess I should have. I should have known.
That's certainly lowered the stakes.
Oh, you mean money, right?
Nope, again, the role of the monkey is played by Simeon.
Told ya, pay up.
Dear.
Money's far too small to play against Isaiah and Regent, silly. Anyway, the evil villain tries to tear Isaiah and Regent apart. What will become of the fated twosome? It's so exciting, isn't it?
Wow, it sure is.
So, Mr. Saint was more than just the little helper he claims to be.
Poor Simeon. It'd be terrible if he couldn't perform with us anymore.
Show preparations. Can you tell me about how you set things up for the performance?
Oh, that's not really my area. Simeon took care of all the lifting and carrying. He's such a sweetie. He offered to do everything by telling me to concentrate on the show. I did see him doing something near that well, though.
Oh, well. I recall seeing one behind the stage.
What the heck was he doing in there?
Beats me. I should examine it in more detail.
Yep.
You should have seen him moving those huge cages all around by himself. He's a total hero.
Yeah. Sounds like something he would do.
Weeping all the while.
He was going back and forth between the yard here and some sort of workshop with all the equipment. The prison gave us special permission to use it for storage. But he was the only one who went down there, so I don't know much more than that.
The workshop must be the one where Knight's body was found. I guess this confirms that Mr. Saint was the only performer to have gone into Workshop A.
Well, this sucks. All we're getting is information that works against us.
You have to help Simeon, Mr. Attorney. We're all counting on you.
Just leave it to us. He may not look it, but Mr. Edgeworth knows how to get things done.
And what exactly is he may not look at supposed to mean?
Yes, sister, what gives? All right. So, so then, what's this basket doing here?
A wicker basket, or rather a cart, given the wheels.
Smells like animals.
I suppose they must have been using it to move things around.
Hey, wouldn't it be fun to hop in and race it down a hill? Ooh, you know what else would be fun? Racing down the hill on office chairs.
Where did any of that come from?
Okay, let's get a look at the size of this stage.
This must be the stage for the show.
You think people would be interested in a great thieving show?
I'm sure the police would be very eager to attend.
Well, yeah. Okay, well, I want to get a look at... Oh, look at this doofus.
What the hell is he doing here?
Oh, Jesus.
Ah, Mr. Attorney, sir. And how are you today, if you don't mind me asking?
Today? We just talked to you earlier, Mr. Sot.
Oh, heavens, I do apologize. Ever since I came to call this place home, I've been working on my interpersonal skills, you see.
In order to be as annoying as possible?
I'm currently helping out with the circus show, stage teardown and cleanup. If you have need of me, I'll do my utmost to help.
All right, well, what do you mean helping out?
I'm just chipping in and doing what I can. Model prisoner that I am. Yes, my stay in this prison has seen me reborn. The Frank Saw you see before you is a changed man.
A changed man who now targets the recently deceased?
No, you misunderstand. That was just a moment of madness.
A moment of madness? Ugh, you're a disgrace to all thieves everywhere.
You're right, of course. I can't deny it. I still have a long way to go.
As a thief?
Anyway, as you can see, I have a shiny new bracelet now. So it's the straight and narrow for me. Like I say, I'm a model prisoner.
Not that a real model prisoner would need to keep telling me that. Vocational training.
I'm doing everything I can to prepare for my eventual return to society.
Yeah, you even skipped the show to focus on your training, didn't you?
Uh-oh. That's right. Only 2 inmates were absent, Saint and Canis.
Well, Canis is the assassin. He's maximum security, so he couldn't have done it directly.
Why didn't you tell us about Mr. Canis sooner?
That. Look, I don't think there's an inmate in this prison who'd talk about him if they didn't have to. He's, well, you could say he's the real one in charge around here. You didn't hear it from me. Well, I guess it comes with being the fixer.
The fixer?
Yes, anything you need, he can get it for you.
But how does he get away with it?
I'm not sure, but he's the only one who does. I heard he has a secret way of getting things into the facility.
I imagine being the fixer affords Canis certain privileges.
Not that I concern myself with such things anymore, of course. I'm far more interested in perfecting my mud pack application technique.
And what are these mud packs exactly?
They're a special type of mud treatment, rich with minerals. It works wonders on their coats. I've been practicing on the animals here in the prison. I hope to treat them all eventually. So in fact, he is kind of making mud pies.
Speaking of mud, that reminds me of a certain piece of evidence. The glove.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I should try presenting it to him. All right, let him have it. The glove.
That's the rubber glove I dropped.
Would you care to explain why it's so dirty?
Oh, of course. That's mud from one of the pet treatments I've been practicing. I was giving one of the animals a mud pack right when the incident happened.
I see. Around what time would this have been?
And let's see. Show had already started, so around 9 a.m. perhaps? The thing is, the more mud I applied, the more in the zone I got. And the darker the animal's fur became. You don't think.
Uh-oh.
There's no trance quite like the trance one enters when one slathers an animal with thick black mud.
I think the stress of prison might be getting to him.
You think our pooch might have been a different color? I'm just saying. Although
Rubber glove data.
Go ahead.
Rubber glove data updated in my organizer. Found in workshop A. Sullied after being informed by Sawhead when administering a dark mud pack treatment. Also bloodstained.
Now here's the gimmick, though. If he tried to give that big old mean dog a mud bath, that dog would have probably bit his friggin' arm off. So probably not. Still.
No.
Of course, it's all thanks to the warden that we have access to such wonderful distractions. I'm eternally grateful, truly I am.
Okay.
So, what now? Investigate that well. He's done. Yeah, we're done here.
Yeah, and I'm looking at that brick, too, and the scraped chalk. Look at that. Anyway.
A simple, sturdily built well. I wonder if it was the work of the prisoners.
Somebody's left a bunch of tools lying around. There's a long piece of rope and a pretty heavy-looking weight. Let's see. It weighs 30 pounds. Oh, and there are some pulleys, too.
Okay, can you stop touching everything in sight?
Oh, come on. It's not like I was going to take anything.
What exactly were they being used for, I wonder?
Hey, she is wearing gloves, after all. All right, let's see.
Okay, nope, nothing else to investigate here. What about the pond? You see a pond
No,
on the
not
lower
yet.
left-hand corner?
Oh, yeah, this guy over here.
Yeah.
Hey!
Who are you shouting at?
Hey! Ponds like this usually have goldfish in them, right? I wanted to see if they come say hello.
I only see water striders.
Hey, water striders are cool. They can walk on water like ninjas. Whoosh, whoosh. Man, I wish I could do that.
So much for the goldfish.
And then, of course, there's the fence.
Danger, high voltage. I never saw one of these in real life. Hey, that must be the fabulous garden outside the warden's office over there.
Ah, yes. Warden Lagarde mentioned being able to see it from her window on the detention center side.
Wish this dumb barbed metal fence wasn't in the way, though. I thought it was all one big yard.
Given how protected the warden seemed of her little bit of Earth, I imagine it's to keep riffraff like us out.
There you
There
are.
you are.
Oh. That's the warden.
Zinner, cupcake.
Oh, Warden Lagarde.
I've been sipping down to sit it off it, you exquisite to sing. Let's talk to her. The prison. Do you mind if I ask a little about the prison? Oh, not at all. This place is my private toy. My home. Sure, it was in prison when I first arrived. This was awful. It's utter disgrace. Awful? I suppose you mean the prisoners were unruly. I most certainly do not. They're angels. Every one of them. They always have been. I don't think so. No, it was the obvious that was awful. I fretted, I prodded, and then it hit me. It was the animals. If anyone could frighten up the place, it was them.
It's nice having them around.
Isn't it just? Look at my fabulous little family. Why, my darling Frankie, c'est very fictional avec rehabilitation. Except when he's rifling through the dead man's pockets. Mr. Sot. There's so many success stories among the family, but darling Frankie really is a marvel. He's thrown himself to his vocational training, and he's always the first to volunteer for everything.
What, and your other model prisoners don't do that?
Oh, of course they do, my dear. Of course. They all such trials, such duels. It's just that, Frankie, let's just say he knows what's good for him.
What does that mean?
Oh, boy. What exactly does she mean by that?
Keep in mind, he is a convicted murderer.
Oh, boy. He's a very good boy, so do try to be nice to him, won't you?
Why is
The very
that?
big circus. Loud song music, great leaping animals, the big, very big circus, chilly has it all. And everybody who comes out gets to see it once a month.
Really? In that case, let me see.
She better not be thinking of something. She better not be thinking of something to confess to. This monthly show, is it always performed by the Very Big Circus? But yourself, City, I'm Regina's biggest fan. That girl's my little princess, my super star. She's wonderfully talented. Oui, she is. Oui, she is. Aw. She's so adorable. It's so sweet. I can just gobble it right up.
You're not lying when you say you're her biggest fan, huh?
Which is why I'm worried about her. So worried. It's all because of poor Simeon, you see. If it's not guilty, why? Darling Rosina would be devastated.
So just clear his name already, lady, for crying out loud.
So you simply must make sure that doesn't happen, Monsieur Lawyer. Please, s'il vous plaît, I'm begging you. If there's anything I can do to help you clear up this awful misunderstanding, you let me know. Lieutenant darling, you put on the most splendid show for us yet again. The stage, the stars, and you in particular, my princess, he was simply divine.
That's so nice of you. I hope everybody else who watched it enjoyed it too.
About that, yeah, I'm afraid I have something awful to confess. There were some absences, you see.
She must mean Candace and saw it.
Well, 3 members short.
3? Who's
What?
the third?
Oh boy.
Unbelievable now. How would you ever forgive me?
I'm sorry, but you're saying 3 inmates didn't attend the show?
That's right, sweetie. I counted the seats myself. 1, 2, 3, no shows. And I always make sure there are no seats for everybody.
But Mr. Edgeworth, that's not right, is it?
Indeed, as far as we were aware, Mr. Candace and Mr. Saar were the only ones not present. This doesn't add up. Who is the third missing prisoner, and what were they doing? It seems we need to investigate further.
Oh, I was enjoying my chat with Verity so much, I almost forgot. I must feed the little one.
Little one. Must be her dog or something.
Okay. That thing around her neck.
Yeah. What the?
Yikes!
Oh.
Oh, it's the alligator.
Alligator!
You're looking at the top as always, Sally, my sweet.
That's Allie? Wait a minute.
Oh, she's so pretty. And what a cute name.
Oui, Allie's the alligator. Isn't she darling? She's my favorite. Aren't you? Oui, you are.
I'm so jealous. Can I pet her?
Absolutely not.
Don't let her chop your hand off.
Bien sûr, princess. Bien sûr.
Boy, howdy. These two were made for one another. It look like they'll be busy for a while.
Maybe we should, go back inside the prison and check the cells.
Yes, let's. Perhaps we can find a clue there as to who our third missing prisoner might be. Now think about this.
You know, you can
nothing.
definitely, what else can you use to dispose of a body? An alligator, sure.
Not to mention a piece of evidence. March 28th, 4:02 p.m., prison corridor.
Sir, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Whew, I finally caught up with you.
There's our detective. Detective, you're not needed elsewhere?
No, the judge and the kid aren't here yet. And I got your message.
So you searched the victim's cell. Did you manage to turn anything up?
We struck gold, sir. Well, blood anyway. It was right there on the floor. Only in tiny specks, though, but at least it's something.
Yeah! It proves that the holding cell was the scene of the crime, right?
Maybe not.
I don't think so.
No, it proves there might have been a fight, and it definitely proves that blood was spilled there, but maybe he was killed elsewhere.
Not quite. It proves a possibility, but it's not conclusive yet.
I thought you'd say that, sir, which is why I ordered some follow-up work. I asked forensics to analyze the blood and see if it matches the victim. They're on it as we speak.
Nice work, Gummy! You thought of everything!
Detective, I must say, I'm impressed. Did you hit your head or something?
Gee, don't look so surprised, sir.
I just hope things continue to go in our favor. White floor data updated in my organizer. There are signs that blood was wiped from the floor of the victim's cell. We're currently checking whose blood it is.
Alrighty, so that's proof that the murder happened in the detention center. And for our next trick...
We'll find out how that dog got over there.
Don't worry, you can leave that one to me. Until the kid and his chaperone get here, we've got the whole prison to ourselves. Which is why I brought my secret weapons along.
Secret weapons?
Oh, I wonder
Wait,
if we're gonna see Missile.
Oh, you know what? Maybe you are.
That's right. A few tools of the trade that have helped me bust more than a few cases wide open. Behold, the 7 secret weapons of Dick Gumshoe, ace detective extraordinaire. Well, I don't know about you crazy cats, but I'm sold. Miles?
Very well, detective. We'll try using your secret weapons.
You got it, sir. Let me run you through the list. Secret weapon number 1, my trusty old metal detector.
All right.
If it's made of steel, silver, or scrap, this little guy right here will find it.
So, it detects metal. Very good, detective.
Next up, secret weapon number 2, Missile, everyone's favorite crime-fighting canine.
Missile!
Hey, Missile! I want to pet him so bad.
Me too.
He can track pretty much any scent you put in front of him, especially food.
He sure is a lot cuter than Mr. Candace's dog.
And now,
Careful. Just make sure there are not any samurai dogs out here.
Oh,
He'll
yeah.
chew him up like the plague. No, never mind.
and now for secret weapon number 3. Where'd I put it? Aha! Am I one snapper short of a school, or is that a fishing rod? Don't tell me we're going fishing for clues. You'd be surprised, Fender. No. I mean, I just happen to have it with me is all.
I see. Well, onwards and upwards, detective. Let's see what else you have.
That's all she wrote, sir.
Gummy, you're 4 secret weapons short of your so-called 7, and one of them was a fishing rod.
Sorry, but that's all for today, okay? I'll show you the rest next time. Why do you think I call them secret? I can't just go sharing everything at once. That's crazy.
In that case, then I suppose the 3 you've deigned to reveal it to us will have to do for now.
I know we're going to be using that fishing pole at some point.
Yep.
All right. Which one do you want to try, sir? Okay, what does story mode tell us?
I'd say
We're using
missile.
missile. You got it, sir. Hey, Missile, here, boy.
Aw, he really came.
Phrasing!
Don't. that you thought that, not me. So, what are we tracking?
We're trying to find out how Mr. Candace's dog got to the holding cells in the first place. I suspect the same route was used to bring Knight's body back to the prison.
So we give the pooch a sniff of the body.
And he'll find that route for us.
All right, let's see.
Does anyone else smell something sweet?
All I smell is the odor of blood.
Hang on, there might be something going on here. It's faint, sir, but it's there. Almost like cake, maybe? Uh-oh, if it's food.
Why would the body smell of cake?
Okay, Missile, go get a nose full. Here we go. Follow that dog.
That's the way too.
Hey, he's headed for maximum security.
Uh-oh, he's going in.
We'll just have to follow after him.
March
March
28th.
28th, 4:24 p.m. Prison. Maximum security. This is Canis' cell, though the man himself is absent, it seems.
Why?
But why? Is he meeting with someone in the visitor's room?
Do you think Miss Cell's onto something?
Shh. Looks like maybe he is. Uh-oh.
Is there something here?
I bet you there's a samurai dog.
Let's get stupid, Mr. Edgeworth.
Biscuits. I think those are it.
Okay.
You see those biscuits on the floor, but
No, I mean, they're not on the floor. Oh, yeah, that's right.
tea and rice crackers. Mr. Canis clearly doesn't lack for comforts.
I can think of worse ways to spend my time in jail than drinking tea and playing chess. I thought this was maximum security, not maximum comfort. How come nobody else gets the special treatment?
Complaining to me isn't going to help. Perhaps you could take it up with the man himself.
Good luck.
Yikes! No thanks.
Okay, I guess not.
Well, now what about, now you were pointing at that chisel with the bell.
Yeah, maybe there's something on that bell.
Look, Mr. Edgeworth, that chisel on the floor is a bit smaller than the others.
I'm no ward worker, but perhaps it's an all-purpose one that can be used in a pinch, regardless of the job.
An all-purpose pocket chisel. Makes sense. Always nice when your tools are useful and easy to carry.
Is that your opinion as a thief?
Nope. It's my opinion as a great thief.
I walked into that one.
Good job. All right, what's this?
Mr. Canis' chisels. Every one a potential murder weapon.
That reminds me of something. The furrows in your brow. When you frown, it looks like somebody took a chisel to your forehead.
I have no idea what you mean.
See? You're so deep. Don't tell me you don't see it, Mr. Wood Carving Face.
Have you quite finished?
Okay,
Chessboard. Let's check the
chessboard.
chessboard. Mr. Canis' chess set, complete with a special dog piece.
Bet you that's what he's barking at.
That's not a chess set. That's a whole chess table with legs. Looks like it might be worth something too.
It's not inconceivable. Some of them are. And this is quite a nice one.
I never would have pegged Mr. Canis as a chess fan, though. What with the whole Eastern aesthetic he's got going, I thought he'd be more into Go.
Go, huh? Can you play?
I can play Go Fish.
Not the same thing, Kay. Not even close.
Uh-oh. Huh? What's the matter, boy? Wait. Is this cake what you were after? What? Whoa! Down, boy! Stop that! No, you can't have it. Dogs can't eat chocolate. You know that. If you won't behave, I'll just have to eat it myself. Not bad. That's some real outside the chocolate box. That's some real outside the chocolate box thinking there. Not sure everybody agrees, though. Uh-oh.
Gummy! Gummy! I wanted some!
Daring of you both to assume the food in a prison is safe to eat. Well, daring or dumb.
So anyway, it looks like it really was cake Messiah was tracking.
Talk about a waste of time. I suppose we got our just desserts.
Hang on a second, though. Maybe not. But the little guy's definitely capable, right? Sure he is. This was just a blip. He'll follow the right scent this time, I promise. Seek, boy.
All right.
Ooh, I think he's onto something.
What's this?
Oh, whatever it is, it's in there.
Mr. Carcerato's cell. We need to take a look inside. Detective, call the guard.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, officer. A question before we begin. Is the prisoner, Mr. Carcerado, still in solitary?
No, sir. He came back a little while ago, and he was here for the noon roll call. Guess he must be on work duty someplace.
I see. Now, if you would be so kind as to open his cell.
Is he in the workshop? No, he wasn't in the workshop. We ran into him.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's see.
What's
what
this?
is it? Oh, he's punching the shit out of that warden.
This punching bag. This punching bag has certainly seen some use.
What breed were you again, Missile? Sure it wasn't a boxer.
No way.
No way, indeed. Quickly, detective, move the sandbag aside.
Yes, sir. No kidding. Look at this.
Oh!
A hole! Could this be?
Whoa there. What? Missa.
I'm going in too.
Wait, stop!
Sir, I'll go get her. Ooh, that's tight. Shouldn't have eaten that cake.
He's gone! Well, I'm not going in there. Guess we'll just have to wait.
An escape route, huh?
Hello? Kay? Are you alright?
You're not gonna believe this, but we're in a detention center.
The detention center?
That hole, it's a tunnel that leads right into Mr. Knight's cell.
What? 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 Don't go anywhere. I'm on my way. March 28th, 5:04 p.m. Detention center. Night cell. Holding cell. Kay.
Hey there, Mr. Edgeworth. Guess you could say we made a breakthrough.
Quite. At least I came out unscathed, I think.
Sir, the floorboards under the bed were torn up.
Oh, so that's how they did it. There's no doubt about it. This must be the route we've been looking for. The corridor connecting the detention center and the prison is locked down by heavy security doors. But with the help of this tunnel, it can be circumvented. It was a sweet scent that started this whole search. Could it be that the scent was in fact coming from Knight's body after all? Mr. Knight's body data updated in my organizer, killed instantly by a stab wound to the throat. There is also a small cut of the scalp from when he suffered a blow to the head. A sweet scent can be detected. Incidentally, Knight's body was covered in dirt that might have come from being dragged through this tunnel. Kay, what was it like down there?
Well, it was pitch black, so I couldn't see a whole lot. Luckily, my camera has a flash, so I took some pictures.
Then let's see what you've captured.
Oh, look at this.
Look at that!
Paw prints. Spoons. A fork. Guess these were for digging the tunnel. Inside. Are those footprints?
Paw prints even. From a dog, perhaps. Tunnel prints data jotted down in my organizer. A photo of the tunnel between the prison and the detention center. It seems to depict the paw prints of a dog. Well, helmet, perhaps? This is a vital piece of evidence. However, it begs something of a question.
It does?
Mr. Carcerado has certainly been making use of this tunnel, which means... Detective, we need to find out where Mr. Carcerado is immediately. If my suspicions are correct.
Huh? Oh, nuts.
The guards were alerted, and they began searching for Mr. Carcerado right away. But after a thorough investigation of both the prison and the detention center, he was nowhere to be found.
He escaped.
Sneaky bastard. March 28th, 5:34 p.m., Detention Center, corridor.
Well, is the police been notified?
Yes, ma'am. We just finished liaising with them a moment ago. They've set up a cordon around the entire facility.
Yeah. The first blame is that prison's spotless reputation is always the ugliest.
It won't happen again, ma'am.
A rather different Warden Lagarde to the one we've seen so far.
Monsieur Edgeworth, was it? I really can't thank you enough for finding that tunnel, darling. Sadly, it may have been too little too late. It seems he might have already left the building.
I'd say that's unlikely, Warden. After all, there is a security gate at the exit to the detention center. You're not suggesting he simply walked through it?
Let's just say there was only one. Let's just say there was only one tunnel, sweetie.
I suppose that's true.
Well, whatever the case, this is no time to be standing around chit-chatting. Monsieur Edgeworth, would you mind continuing with your investigation?
It would be my pleasure.
And you think you get back to your posts?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Detective, the results of the blood test just came back from the lab.
Thanks, pal.
Let's see what they have to tell us about the blood found in Knight's cell.
What does it say, Mr. Edgeworth?
They've identified the blood, and it's Knight's.
There you go.
White floor data updated in my organizer. There are signs that blood was wiped from the floor of the victim's cell. The blood has been confirmed as Knight's.
Nice job, everybody. Teamwork makes the dream work, huh? We got Knight's blood in his holding cell, a tunnel a dog clearly went through, and security footage showing Knight being attacked by the dog in his cell. Case closed.
We have all the evidence we need. Let's see what Mr. Canis has to say for himself.
Canis, darling, you saw? Do be careful how time, won't you? He's a drug connected, and the outside is he isn't here.
I suppose he would have to be. How else would the so-called fixer stay in business?
The police have been trying to track down these accomplices for the longest time. Even I've had to learn them around myself, you know.
So that's what that was all about.
He's still not talking, ma'am? Even with the evidence you borrowed from the precinct?
No, and I've tried so many times I've lost count. What am I supposed to do? I can't send in a black report.
I guess the killer for hire was always going to be a tough nut to crack.
You borrowed evidence from the police to help with your investigation. Is that correct?
Well, we see everything related to Canis is with me now. Even though so many times I've called the secretive scoundrel into my office to talk to me. But no matter what I say, or how much evidence I present with him with, he simply won't say a word.
A prison warden conducting interrogations herself? That's irregular, to say the least.
I wonder if she's working with him.
Oh, boy. I don't know.
Anyway, I gotta prove it.
It's your cartoon, and he'll devour you whole. Be careful, darlings. You've been warned.
Hoo-wee. And here I thought things couldn't get any spicier.
All right, here we go.
I bet you we're getting to another round of mind chess.
March 28th, 5:55 p.m., prison. Maximum security, and look who's there.
Oh, it's the Goon Squad.
Judge Gavelle and Prosecutor Winner. Judge Gavelle. Judge Gavelle, I didn't expect to find you here.
We have been conducting inquiries, which, given that we are in charge of the investigation, is hardly strange. What is strange is that you are still here, Mr. Edgeworth. I gave you a warning, did I not? I told you that your badge was at risk should our paths cross again, and yet, here you are.
I'm sorry that you thought that I might be so easily discouraged, Your Honor. But I am not about to let the truth slip from my grasp, no matter what you or the committee might say. I am here to present a certain someone with evidence that you yourselves should have uncovered.
You have more business with me, I take it, Mr. Edgeworth?
I do. I promised I would be back to prove that you were the killer. And here I am.
This should be amusing. Very well. Whenever you are ready.
Objection! Not so fast. We have some truths of our own to share. First-rate deductions, in fact.
Indeed. We are now more certain than ever that Simeon Saint was the murderer. And that only he could have moved Mr. Knight from his holding cell to the prison proper. We shall prove this to you beyond a shadow of a doubt. But first, a question. Are you quite determined to continue on this course, Mr. Edgeworth? Should you fail to rebut our deductions, there will be no going back. Your very career hangs from the balance.
What? You mean you'll take his badge if you don't like how this goes? Well, that's intimidation.
Not at all. If anything, I am showing him mercy. This is not Mr. Edgeworth's case. It never was. And I am under no obligation to hear him out. If he is prepared to accept the potential ramifications of his actions, I will allow him one last chance. Well, are you truly willing to take the risk to put your beloved badge on the line? Mr. Edgeworth!
Sir!
I accept your terms. I am confident of my reasoning. And what's more, I am representing the firm of Edgeworth and Company. And I do not intend to besmirch its name. My duty will be done, and I will not be intimidated.
Very well. Let us see whether you are brave or simply reckless. By the power vested in me by the almighty goddess of justice, let this judgment commence. Eustace, if you'll allow me.
Fine by me. He's all yours, Gavelle.
Oh boy,
right.
here we go.
Time for an epic battle. How Knight wound up in the prison proper.
You are aware of the incident involving Mr. Knight the day before yesterday, I assume. He assaulted an innocent guard and stole his keys. Later, in the middle of moving a large animal cage, Mr. Saint stopped by Mr. Knight's cell for a little visit. That's when Mr. Knight stole out of his cell using the keys he'd stolen. He slipped into the cage, and there he hid as he was wheeled to one of the prison workshops.
What was in that cage?
You figure she was going to bring up Mr. Saint, going to Knight's cell.
Yesterday, after you so kindly made us aware of the security camera footage, we decided to take a look at it ourselves. Perhaps you would like to see what we found? This is a still from the footage we received.
Mr. Saint speaking with Knight at his cell.
Correct. You will also note that he has positioned the cage in such a way as to obscure the camera's view. It is this blind spot that Mr. Knight exploited in order to enter the cage undetected. A sound deduction based on what can be observed, wouldn't you say?
A blind spot, which means that the camera wouldn't have been able to capture the moment Knight entered the cage, if he did at all.
A big
Best viewers on Steamboot, no thank you.
Just ignore it and go and just keep moving. Keep on.
Yeah, it's spam. So it's still possible that he didn't actually leave his cell at this point.
I don't get it. Why would Mr. Knight want to hide in the cage?
He wasn't hiding in the cage, was he?
No, I don't think he was.
There is really only one possibility. He intended to escape. A prison break! That's so cool! Mr. Carcerado, Mr. Knight, everybody's doing it! I have to step up my game!
Okay, now is really not the time. Mr. Carcerado's escape is no laughing matter.
It is my belief that Mr. Saint helped Mr. Knight with his escape attempt. That is to say, he was his accomplice. Wow! Go Simeon!
That wasn't a compliment!
I understand that the cage was briefly taken into one of the workshops. I imagine that had things gone to plan, Mr. Knight would have remained in the cage until after the show, and then removed from the premises along with the rest of the circus's equipment. Unfortunately for Mr. Knight, Mr. Saint had other ideas. He killed his friend in cold blood.
Judge Gavelle's argument seems reasonable, but there must be a fault in her logic somewhere, and I'm going to find it.
All right, well, let's see what story mode has to tell us.
Time for a rebuttal.
You are aware of the incident involving Mr. Knight the day before yesterday, I assume. He assaulted an innocent guard and stole his keys.
Press him on it.
Hold it. Do you have any proof that Knight stole the keys?
I can think of no other reason for him to carry out such a brutal attack. Once the guard he assaulted regains consciousness, I am sure he will confirm our suspicions.
I wouldn't be so sure. Perhaps I should press her further on her reasoning. Do it!
Further.
Yeah, gotta do it. Sorry, but I believe there is a flaw in your reasoning. If Knight had the keys, there was nothing to stop him from leaving whenever he wanted. Why wait for Mr. Saint? There was no need, surely.
He chose the option he deemed most likely to succeed. He stole the keys and hid them somewhere, then waited for an opportune moment to present itself.
He hid the keys? I'm afraid you might have made an uncharacteristic oversight, Your Honor. But Knight wasn't hiding any keys. That has been proven already.
Because, if we take a look, they have yet to be recovered.
That's right.
His keys were stolen. So
right. So who stole the keys? And this is a piece of evidence that proves Knight didn't have the keys, because they've yet to be found, right? Mm-hmm. Since you know about the incident, I assume you must already know this, but after the assault, the guards searched both Knight and his cell, and no keys were found. And if the whereabouts of the keys cannot be proven, then neither can your theory.
I have considered the matter of the missing keys, and I do not think it's such an issue. I still believe he had them. After all, the guards only stated that they were unable to locate them. And this is because they were cleverly hidden inside the pocket chess set.
Knight's chess set. The same set in which the murder weapon was also allegedly hidden?
Was it? I can't help but wonder about that.
She just changed the story. Broad.
What? But you're the one who proposed it! Actually, if you recall, that was Eustace's assertion.
So the two of them aren't of one mind on this, I take it.
Allow me to restate the facts. Mr. Knight hid the keys he stole from the guard inside his chess set. When Mr. Saint came to see him, Mr. Knight used the keys to open his cell and climbed inside the cage. He was then moved from his holding cell to that workshop in the prison proper, all with the help of his friend and accomplice. Had things gone according to plan, he would have been taken out of the facility after the show. But they did not. Instead, his accomplice murdered him while the show was taking place in the yard.
That actually didn't happen because he was in the show.
Objection! But Mr. Saint was part of that performance. How would he even have time? How would he even have had time to commit the murder?
Overruled. How indeed? Allow me to explain. As you know, many stage performances follow a set narrative. Yesterday's show was one such example.
She's done her homework, I see.
The suspect played the role of the antagonist opposite the elephantine heroine of the show. In the latter part of the performance, the heroine's love prevails and the villain is defeated. This victory is depicted in a very unique manner, whereby the villain is sent flying from the stage by the heroine.
He's sent flying by the elephant?
Isn't that dangerous? Having been ejected from the stage in this manner, the villain no longer appears in the performance. In other words, the suspect did not appear on stage for a period of approximately 15 minutes.
And you're saying the crime took place during that time?
Yes, I'm afraid so. After all, it's more than a sufficient window, wouldn't you say?
Objection! Committing the crime and returning to the stage in that short 15-minute window is only possible, assuming that the murder took place in the prison proper. But in fact, Your Honor, the real scene of the crime was Knight's cell.
I seem to remember telling you that I would not accept that part of the security footage into evidence.
Objection! And you won't have to. I have proof of a different kind.
Very well. Would you be so good as to present it? What proof do you have that the murder took place in the victim's holding cell?
Well,
3, 2, 1.
Take that!
Take that!
This appears to be a photograph of a floor. Almighty goddess of justice, grant me patience!
That floor you're so dismissive of, Your Honor, has traces of Knight's blood on it.
Ugh. Traces, you say? Is this evidence reliable? After all, I don't believe you have access to the necessary forensics operatives.
Objection! I have my resources. A certain blunt instrument, you might say, but a reliable one.
The detective? How very unfortunate for him. Perhaps before you decided to circumvent the law, you might have considered that the committee's influence extends to the police. Oh no! Now Goey's badge is on the line too!
Forgive me, Detective. I didn't mean to put you at risk as well.
I will enter the fact that Mr. Knight's blood was found in the holding cell into evidence. However...
Objection? Bad luck, idiots. You're really on the edge now, Mr. Worthless.
Mr. Winner, I'd forgotten you were there. It was nice while it lasted.
I just wanted to tell you that your entire argument is one big inconsistency. You showed us camera footage of a dog killing Mr. Knight in his cell. Are you saying the mutt also wiped the blood up before it left the scene?
Uh-oh!
The dog didn't do it.
Somebody else did. What other tricks can it do, huh? A blood-wiping dog? You're a joke.
You'd have wiped that blood up, wouldn't you, boy? Yes, Helmut. Yes, you would.
What?
That was one of the tricks I taught him before our work together was so rudely cut short. He's a very tidy boy, you know. Never misses a drop.
That's why his mouth was covered in it.
It wouldn't do to leave any evidence after all. Saved by an assassin of all people.
Jeez Louise, you could have just taught the little guy to shake hands.
Oh, he does that marvelously too. Although, the way I taught him to do it is somewhat unorthodox. First, he bites down hard on the victim's hand. Then...
La 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 la! I'm not listening! I see. Very well then, Mr. Edgeworth. It seems you may have gathered some evidence worth considering.
Your understanding is much appreciated.
Objection! Wait, I'm not done yet. I just thought of something else.
Overruled.
Oh boy, somebody's taking no prisoners.
Eustace, would you be so kind as to allow me?
Yours, Gavelle.
Well, do you accept the truth now? The crime took place in Knight's holding cell, and the assassin's dog was the killer.
Overruled. My position is the same as it was yesterday. Until you can explain how the dog moved between the prison and the detention center, I cannot accept your theory into evidence.
We got it.
Hold it. I thought you might say that, which is why I'd like to show you something else. This piece of evidence shows how the dog could freely travel between the prison and the detention center. 3, 2, 1. Take that!
This is...
It's a secret passageway. It runs beneath the prison.
What? A secret passageway?
It was dug by one Mr. Rocco Calcerato, escapee. It leads from his prison cell to a certain holding cell in the detention center. Yes, the very one where the victim was being held.
Oh, well, this is certainly a surprise. To think that it was beneath our feet this entire time.
Mr. Canis, you knew of this tunnel, didn't you? Because it's the same tunnel that was used to carry out the murder.
Overruled. In the name of the goddess of justice. Overruled. Mr. Edgeworth, you are out of line.
Hold it. How so, Your Honor?
Overruled. Evidence is everything, whether in a court of law or at the scene of an investigation. Isn't that your little catchphrase? Well, it just so happens that I have some evidence of my own. Bronco Knight's autopsy report.
Oh. His autopsy report?
When did we get that?
How do you not know you had it?
He's such a moron.
Eustace, you idiot.
The police handed it to me only a short while ago. The findings are still preliminary, but it has something of value to tell us nonetheless. The goddess of justice speaks to us through these pages, Mr. Edgeworth. Cause of death, stab wound to the throat, and the weapon is said to be a sharp blade of some sort. It seems the victim was stabbed repeatedly in the same spot, resulting in an ugly wound.
But wait a minute. How many times was he stabbed?
Hang on. Oops.
Hold on a second.
First of all, I gotta look at something. Kindly killed instantly by a stab wound to the throat. So he stabbed only once? I
Yeah.
would think so. We don't know what
Yeah,
the murder
I
weapon
think
is
so.
yet. So anyway, okay, so let me go back to the thing that I missed.
Cause of death, stab wound to the throat, and the weapon is said to be a sharp blade of some sort. It seems the victim was stabbed repeatedly in the same spot, resulting in an ugly wound, and as such, the police have yet to identify the exact shape of the weapon, but its overall nature seems to be beyond question. It is a bladed metal instrument. In light of this evidence, do you truly wish to continue with your flight of fancy? Or will you now claim that the dog used a knife instead?
But that's impossible!
That will be all. This court is adjourned.
Objection! But the tunnel! The paw prints! Hold it. What of them? Helmut is something of a wanderer. Perhaps he just happened to cross this tunnel one day. Although, I couldn't say for certain. I myself cannot wander quite so freely. That would be quite a coincidence, but I can't prove it's not the case either.
She sure knows how to keep a secret, huh? Kinda wish she'd kicked us in the teeth a little earlier with that.
She was baiting me, waiting for the perfect moment to crush me with that autopsy report. And I fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker.
You are lead attorney for the defense, correct, Mr. Fender? This is the interim autopsy report in question. I do apologize for the delay.
Yeah, no sweat. Thanks for hooking us up.
Autopsy report data jotted down in my organizer. The interim report suggests that the cause of death was a stab wound to the neck inflicted by a sharp blade. Death was instantaneous.
Yep, this all checks out. Yep.
Mr. Fender, a handshake is not necessary when receiving official court documents, you know. So please feel free to let go of my hand. It's not a holy relic after all.
I was just trying to be friendly, Your Honor.
Had you lingered a moment longer, the goddess of justice would have spoken to you through my gavel.
Probably right on top of his damn head.
Oh boy. Or even worse, his hand.
Yeah. All right, I got it. Nice work, Gavelle. Just like we planned it. Planned it? What?
Dun dun dun.
I did only as you instructed, Eustace, but thank you.
Nuh-uh.
This report came from the police. I have no choice but to accept its legitimacy. But if the dog didn't kill Knight, then that takes Candace out of the running.
The goddess of justice speaks to me, Mr. Edgeworth, and she is merciful. She tells me that you might yet keep your badge if you will finally abandon this fruitless quest.
What's her move, sir? I think she really means it this time.
What do you think, Detective? My answer remains the same, Judge Gavelle. I will see my duty done, and I will not be intimidated.
Even with how things stand, you still refuse to concede? This may very well be your last chance. Your badge hangs by a thread.
Then let it fall if it must. I have something far more important to protect as an associate attorney. My client.
The goddess of justice is no doubt saddened by your refusal to accept yet another offer of mercy.
Hold it. Attaboy, Miles. That's what I like to see. Looks like the defense never rests is really starting to mean something to you. Credit to the old man, though. He's the one who said it first.
My father?
In fact, I could swear I saw Gregory's spirit in you for a second there. You said that you've changed since your days in Von Klammer's shadow. I didn't believe you at first, but I'm starting to.
Thank you, Fender.
All right, kids. This is where the rubber really hits the road. Put your thinking caps on. It's make or break time. If it's true that Knight was off with a bladed weapon, does our whole case really fall apart?
A bladed weapon? Of course. There were 5 chisels in Candace's cell when we last looked. A former assassin certainly wouldn't struggle to commit murder with a tool like that. In which case, the weapon that killed Knight was...
Remember, we heard a bell. We heard a bell throughout the whole... Yep.
Have you quite finished? It would be in your best...
Hold it!
Hang on.
Let's try it again. Have you quite finished? It would be in your best interest to
concede. Hold it! Evidence is everything. It may well be my little catchphrase, but it's also true. So the murder weapon was a sharp blade? Then where is it? The guards didn't find it.
Why can't you let this go? So what if they didn't find it? What are you driving at?
What if I were to tell you that I now know what the real murder weapon was? And it was right under our noses the whole time. Indeed, it was one of Mr. Candace's chisels.
What?
Overruled. I would advise you to stop bombarding us with your irresponsible, half-baked theories, Mr. Edgeworth. You have repeatedly insisted that Mr. Knight was killed in his cell by a dog.
I simply go where the evidence takes me, both in the courtroom and at the scene of a crime. If the murder weapon was in fact a chisel, then yes, the murderer could not have been the dog. But that begs the question of what exactly it was we saw in the security footage.
Hey, wait a minute. Remember that thing where the guard keeps interrogating Canis? You don't think.
Wait a second.
Anyway. Oh, yeah, the security footage. How do you explain that, Mr. Smarty Pants?
An excellent question. The footage shows somebody.
Either the dog jumping on somebody or somebody attacking the dog.
The dog jumping on somebody. Mr. Candace's dog jumping up at Knight. The dog attacked Knight, but he didn't kill the man.
He didn't?
No, Knight was merely knocked out. The dog didn't drag a corpse through the tunnel. He dragged an alive but unconscious Knight. The real killer was the dog's master.
Oh, I get it. By bringing Knight here, Mr. Canis could finish the job.
And he could definitely use one of his chisels to do it.
Correct. You bodied Harma Canis. You're the only one who could have done it.
Objection! Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, you ever get this on your report card? Refuses to listen, must learn to respect others.
Are you asking me or confessing to what's on yours?
We already searched Mr. Canis' cell from top to bottom. Right, Gavelle?
Mm-hmm. Yes, we even inspected his chisels. All 4 of them.
There were 5 chisels in his cell.
Oh, boy.
There wasn't a single speck of blood.
Hold it! Why, thank you, Your Honor. You have just confirmed my theory.
I have? What exactly do you mean?
The last time we were here, there were 5 chisels, not 4.
Oh yeah, I remember counting them. Definitely 5.
And the one that's missing is...
The small one. The one we thought might be a pocket chisel. Mr. Canis, where did you hide that chisel? A pocket chisel? And what use might I have for such a thing? I am rarely allowed to leave my cell. In which case, he shouldn't have had the chance to dispose of the weapon. You've dug your own grave, Mr. Canis.
You seem to have an idea where this missing chisel might be, Mr. Edgeworth. Would you enlighten us?
For a man who can't leave his cell of his own volition, Canis could only have hidden the chisel here. In,
Either workshop, yeah, it must have been workshop A. Oh, no maximum security. Outside of his cell.
Mr. Canis is still a prisoner, despite the comfort he enjoys. He is rarely allowed out of his cell. He could have given the chisel to his dog to leave somewhere. But that would have been far from ideal. He would have no way of guaranteeing where it might end up. Intriguing. Do go on, Mr. Edgeworth. Furthermore, this room is the one place where a bladed instrument wouldn't raise an eyebrow. 4 chisels, 5 chisels. Who's counting? A fact he took full advantage of.
The old keep the incriminating evidence close routine. Classic. Objection. But I looked. I searched the whole cell myself. And there's just nowhere he could have hidden it.
Objection! I am certain that the murder weapon is here, and that the reason why no one has found it yet is because it was hidden in such an ingenious manner. Hold it. Do enlighten us, Mr. Edgeworth. What was my ingenious plan? Think, Miles. There must be a hiding spot he could make use of. Think about when you came here previously. What are you missing?
Food.
He's not showing us out permanently, right?
Let's get out of here! Come on!
Uh-oh. The dog. He hasn't made a sound today. When we were here before, he barked and growled repeatedly. Canis even encouraged him to do so. That must be it! I knew something was off! I can hardly believe it, but I think I know where he hid the murder weapon. Giving up already? I expected more of you, Mr. Edgeworth. Hold it! As well you should, if you would give me a moment. For this piece of evidence shows where you hid the murder weapon, inside the dog.
Take that!
Your dog. He seems unusually quiet today.
Oh yeah, unlike last time when... Mr. Canis, if you would be so kind as to open Helmet's mouth.
Oh, come now. He hasn't barked because he is a well-behaved boy. I had to order him till last time. Then order him again, this instant!
It's not like we're asking for the world, Mr. Canis. Or do you have something to hide?
If you insist. Come on, Helmet. Open up. It's a chisel! And there we have it. A chisel that is... And there we have it. A chisel that small was easy enough for a dog of this size.
What? A chisel in the dog? Why is there a chisel in the dog?
I thought he'd been strangely quiet. I guess his brain has finally caught up.
Eustace? Why don't you be a good boy and call forensics? Tell them it's urgent.
Okay. Our findings are as follows. Traces of blood were detected on the chisel. What?
Not such a half-baked theory after all, was it?
Hang on a second. Whose blood is it?
If it isn't the victim's, oh
Then
boy.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so we're all on the same page here. This is our murder weapon, yeah?
The forensic evidence cannot be ignored. We have no choice but to concede that this is most likely the case.
Chisel data jotted down on my organizer contains traces of blood hidden by Canis inside his dog's mouth. He has a small bell attached to it.
Mr. Canis, in light of the discovery of the murder weapon, the court demands that you explain yourself.
We found the root your dog took to the holding cells, and now we have the chisel. How do you propose to talk your way out of this one? You never fail to entertain, Mr. Edgeworth.
Why does he always laugh like that, even when it's not funny?
Poor Helmet. How could they suspect us? You leave me little choice. I shall simply have to share with you the truth. I did not kill anyone. I have grown tired of killing. Something's not right. Why is he so calm?
Very well. The court will hear Mr. Canis's testimony. If you would be so kind.
Gladly. Oh boy, here we go. This should be good. Canis's defense. Perhaps you might begin by explaining what you believe my motive to have been. I never knew this Knight. I had no contact with him. No connection whatsoever.
That is a lie.
Given that this is the case, why would I possibly wish him dead?
Now that's a good question.
Could it be you are suggesting that it was my canine companion who had the motive instead? Helmet only bears his fangs when I tell him to. I am not so bloodthirsty that I would kill a man I did not know.
I mean, when he puts it that way.
An assassin who only kills his acquaintances? Not the soundest business model, I agree. My work required me to deal with strangers, of course, but murder for its own sake? That's not my style. So I need to prove a link between Knight and Canis. I should go over the evidence again and see what I can discover.
Well, even if the chess set links them together, how does that point to a motive? Anyway.
Perhaps you might begin by explaining what you believe my motive to have been. I never knew this Knight. I had no contact with him, no connection whatsoever.
Then...
Oh, yeah?
Then explain this.
Objection! Looks like you nailed it. You're getting sloppy, Mr. Canis. You may have trained your dog to clean up your mess, but some things still require a human touch. We found this in the victim's room. It's the record of a game of correspondence chess. What's more, the game depicted matches the game laid out on your board. What? The number of possible games has been calculated to be 10 to the power of 120, and that's on the low end.
Wait, so that's 10 times 10, 120 times over, right? 100, 1,000? I give up. I mean, what do you even call a number that big?
A vanishingly unlikely coincidence. That's what. Now tell us why you killed Knight.
Well, it's got nothing to do with it.
Hey, we got two YouTube viewers, by the way.
Sweet.
Unless that is, you would prefer to explain the coincidence. Well, they do say that truth is stranger than fiction. It is, as you say, a coincidence.
But that's totally impossible! We just proved that!
A coincidence of a different kind, child. I never imagined my correspondent was the victim, you see.
Yup, there you go.
And yet here we are. Helmet is as surprised as I am. Aren't you, Helmet? Yes. Chess diagram data updated in my organizer. Knight was playing correspondence chess against Canis. Did the two have some sort of connection?
I don't think so. He might have just been like, oh, hey, this dude likes chess. Anyway.
I suppose there's nothing for it but to finally tell the truth, boy? The other prisoners had all gone to the yard, you see. There was a show of some sort, I believe. Here I was, minding my own business, when in comes Helmut, dragging a corpse of all things.
Huh?
Wait a minute. But wasn't he one of the absent prisoners from the show? I had quite the shock. Not least because the murder weapon was still in the poor fellow's neck. Of course, I was none too keen on becoming a suspect, so I had Helmut take the body to the workshop.
Oh, okay.
Once there, he removed the murder weapon and brought it back to me, just as I had asked. Oh, the dog pulled out the murder weapon in the workshop? Indeed he did. Removing it here would have made an awful mess, after all.
You know something that makes total sense. Remember what Mr. Saint said, Mr. Edgeworth?
No, you know something? That makes total sense.
You know something? That makes total sense. Remember what Mr. Saint said, Mr. Edgeworth?
And that huge black dog had sunk his terrible teeth into the victim's throat.
What did you just say?
It was hellish, utterly hellish. That beast, an awful beast, he killed him.
I see. So what Mr. Saw actually saw was Helmut removing the murder weapon, then? Precisely. I can't say I wasn't a little disappointed that he was spotted, of course. Silly boy. It's not like you to slip up like that, is it now? And there you have it. That is about all there is to tell. I did not kill the man. At most, I am responsible for the removal of the weapon. Now, will that be all? Poor Helmut is growing restless.
Objection! Objection. Sorry, but if you could entertain us for just a little longer, Mr. Canis.
Fender!
No offense, Palio, and I don't think you've quite told us everything. I'm sure we'd all like to know why you thought you needed to pull the chisel out in the first place.
He's right. It makes sense that he would move the body to avoid suspicion. But Canis had no reason at all to recover the murder weapon. So the mute one isn't as dumb as I thought.
Please answer the question, Mr. Canis.
It was because of the bell. The one attached to the chisel, and the one around Helmut's neck. Have a very distinctive design, if you will. Of course, there was something of a trademark of yours, were they not?
I don't get it. How does that even work?
Bodytar Canis, the blind butcher. His appearance was always announced by the sound of bells. Oh, look at that. There's a bell attached to his knife. The last sound his victims would ever hear. You flatter me. Though it's been some years since you last saw one of them, you remember them well. Your knife and its attached bell were one of the pieces of evidence seized in our case against you. Yes, it was but one of my bells, one of only two in existence.
Just two?
Two, and only two. One for my knife, and one for my beloved helmet. Exquisitely crafted, utterly unique. My ears are my guide, after all, and I must be able to use my tools precisely. Of course, as you said, the knife has long since been taken from me. Mr. Canis's bells data jotted down in my organizer. Only two such bells exist. One is attached to Helmut the dog, the other to Canis's knife, which was seized by the police during his arrest. When Helmut brought the body to my cell, I was rather surprised to hear a familiar sound. At first, I was sure that my knife had been used to do the deed. But no, a chisel. An ordinary chisel. It's certainly no assassin's blade. Nonetheless, the bell would have suggested my involvement. Compounding the matter is the fact that I am the only person in this prison permitted to use such tools. It was clear that I would become the prime suspect. And so, the chisel had to be removed and hidden.
Hold it! You still claim that all you did was have the dog move the body? That you had nothing to do with the killing?
Hold it. How could I? I told you. The chisel is not mine. You need not take my word, Mr. Edgeworth. Why not have it checked for fingerprints?
I was just about to suggest that.
Eustace!
Huh? Me? But I don't know how to check for prints.
Get forensics!
Oh, right, sure thing. Oh my God, what an idiot. We got it. Fingerprints. They're Mr. Knight's.
And Mr. Kenneth's?
Nope, just Mr. Knight's. Oh, and forensics said there's no sign of any prints having been wiped off.
Only Knight's fingerprints? This isn't good.
Should I get them to check again?
Now, do you see? I have never so much as touched that chisel. Helmut carried it in his mouth. That is all. Therefore, any prints must belong to whoever had it last.
So the murder weapon belonged to the victim? Whoa, that's not helpful.
As I said, I have not touched the chisel. Therefore, I cannot be the killer. Or do you wish to suggest otherwise?
I've got nothing to counter with. What could this mean? Is he not the killer after all?
I think that's the truth.
Is he actually telling the truth? No, he can't be.
I am sure this goes without saying, Mr. Edgeworth. But if you do not find a solution to your current predicament, and quickly, I will have little choice but to relieve you of your badge. Even my patience has a limit, and I will not tolerate you throwing this investigation into chaos. Am I clear?
You done it now, sir. She's serious.
I hate to admit it, but the fingerprints turned everything on its head. Without more evidence, I'm back to square one.
But wait, something doesn't add up. A few things, actually. What would Mr. Knight have needed a chisel for?
You can do a lot with a chisel, child. Break out of prison for once.
All right, then how did he get in here? And how did he get it in here? There's no way the guards would let him bring a super sharp tool with him, right, Mr. Edgeworth? Hey, Earth to Mr. Edgeworth! You can't stand there hemming and hawing just because of a little setback. The important thing is finding the truth, you know. It doesn't matter how we get there, as long as we save Simeon in the end. We can't give up now, or ever.
Yeah, what she said. I'll second that. You won me around with that, Kay. I'm half tempted to offer you a job for real. It's like I said, the defense never rests. Or rather, like your pop said. What do you think lies at the heart of those words, Miles? Any guesses?
The heart of those words?
It's like this. As defense attorneys, our client's fate rests on our shoulders. We're the only ones they can turn to. Simeon's our client, and we're the only ones who can save him. So we can't rest. Not while he's counting on us. I'm not about to turn my back on your old man's legacy. Are you?
I'm an associate with the defense now. No, I'm an associate with my father's firm. That's the role I have chosen. And that means that if I fail to save my client, I have failed in my duties. I will honor my father's vision and save Simeon Saint. No matter what setbacks I face, I cannot admit defeat. If one path is blocked, I must simply find another.
There we go. That's the Miles Edgeworth I know. Now let's find that new path forward. We can start by trying to figure out how Mr. Knight brought that chisel into the prison.
He hid it inside the chess set.
Right. Right. How would Knight have managed to bring a chisel in here? 3, 2, 1, take that! Usually it wouldn't be possible to bring a metal object into this facility undetected.
Because of the security gates, right?
Correct. But we already know that checks at one of the gates haven't been entirely thorough of late. Namely, the gate at the entrance to the detention center.
That gate is only used to scan people. Any items they bring into the facility are only subjected to a cursory check.
Are you telling me that the chess set wasn't put through the metal detector?
It should have been. Alas, it seemed the guards have grown a little lax in that regard of late.
Knight took advantage of this little oversight and had Mr. Saint bring him the chisel hidden inside his pocket chess set.
That does answer one of our questions, and it suggests that the chisel was indeed Mr. Knight's and not Mr. Canis's.
Pocket chess set data updated my organizer. Knight hid a chisel in here to prevent it from being found by the prison staff. However, we still have one rather pressing problem to address. That of the security footage in which Knight is attacked by a dog. How does one explain it if Mr. Canis was not the culprit?
But then, how do you explain his prints not being on the murder weapon? This one's a real three-piper.
The court, too, finds itself wanting for a satisfactory explanation.
Wait, sir. I think it might be time to show you another one of my secret weapons. Introducing secret weapon number 4, Lil V.
Huh? What sort of name is that, detective?
I came up with it myself, sir. Anyway, you can use it to analyze the video footage.
An excellent idea. Perhaps then you might finally see that I am telling the truth. Who knows if there's anything to be found, but it has to be worth a try.
All right. Want me to walk you through how to use it, sir?
Talk you through.
Oh.
Seeing as I'm not exactly familiar with video analysis techniques, perhaps I should hear him out.
Sure, why not?
If you could run me through its functions, detective, that would be most appreciated.
Yes, sir. Now, we're just past the 2-hour mark, but that doesn't count the time we spent talking at the beginning. So I say we got an extra half hour to go. So anyway, So basically, you just got to do what you always do. Examine anything that catches your eye.
And I can examine things with the triangle I see.
Next up, see those controls at the bottom of the screen? The panels on the left and right let you rewind or fast forward. And you could use the middle one to pause. Get used to those and you're golden, sir.
Seems I can also press the R1 button to fast forward or L1 to rewind the footage. And I can press X to pause. See a fourth wall?
When the video's paused, you can go to the previous frame with L1 or the next frame with R1. Or just use the same control panels I showed you earlier. Lastly, I'd better explain how to zoom in. Just line up the old cursor with the area you want to take a closer look at, then use the panel in the bottom right, and Lil V will do the rest. It's got those 2 expanding arrows right on it. Can't miss it, sir.
It would appear that I could zoom in by pressing the square button, too.
And by the way, even when you're zoomed in, you can still examine stuff, just like in regular view. Also, you can make use of previous and next frame to get a good look at what's really happening. Only thing you can't do when you're zoomed in is play the footage. And so there's that.
I see. And how do I zoom out again?
Just use the panel in the lower right again, sir. See how it's gone from expanding to collapsing arrows on there? That's because you zoomed in. And that about sums it up. Now let's fire little V up for real. Remember, just examine anything that catches your eye and you'll do fine.
The footage from Knight's holding cell. Other than the victim being attacked by that dog, I can't see what else it might show us.
And let me ask you this. Whose dog was it actually? Remember? Somebody was packing mud on a dog. Huh? Oh, I think I'm starting to put it together.
But suppose we're wrong. What could we be looking at instead? Could the person in the footage be someone other than Knight? And if so, could whatever's attacking them be something else too? I should keep both questions in mind while reviewing the footage.
You never know what you're going to see once you start looking at things up close. Check every detail, sir. You'll find something, I'm sure. All right, so okay.
What in this footage seems odd? What in this footage seems odd?
So I'm gonna play it through. Look at how small the dog is. It's not very big.
It's gotta belong to Missile.
No, it's not Missile. So, okay. Shit.
Okay, gotta go back again. Right there. Hey, wait. Teddy, isn't it? Wait. That's... I suspect we may have made a critical error of judgment. What we're looking at here is no dog. This animal is a bear. That's not a dog. It's a bear.
Okay, that one definitely passed me by.
What? So the paw prints from the photo I took.
We're not canine, but ursine. Tunnel prints data updated in my organizer. A photo of the tunnel between the prison and the detention center shows paw prints made by a bear.
A bear? So that could that mean?
Yes, I think it could. After all, who else do we know with such a pet? And if we were mistaken about the creature in the footage, it's not inconceivable that we were mistaken about the person in the footage too.
Maybe there's something in there that could prove it, sir. Something that shows it wasn't Knight.
You're right. We can't see the person's face, which means that direct identification is out of the question. But perhaps there's something that can tell us who they are indirectly.
Indirectly? Like the mirror?
Yes, it's certainly worth a look. So what in this footage seems odd?
Okay, hold on.
Wait, hold it.
So let's zoom in.
And go back a little bit. Back. Or...
The fuck?
Easy. I must be seeing things. What I need to do is figure out who this person really is. Perhaps something else in the footage can provide me with a clue. I have to keep looking. Right. So what in this footage seems odd? Now look carefully. That hand.
Must be
seeing. No, that's not it. Okay, just keep looking. When this footage seems odd. keep going back, because I think I see... If it's something like that coat...
Yeah, I know the coat, but let me see.
Yeah, this is gonna take a while, folks.
So it's either... Okay, no, that's the hint. See, there's no ring on it.
Oh, I see. Must be seeing things. What is story telling us?
Can I even do it?
Looks like you can. All right, so we're gonna...
Oh, there's a cap. Oh, dumbass. Okay.
The figure is reflected in the mirror here, too. Is that a hat?
Say, doesn't it look like the hats the guards wear, sir? Oh, jeez. Is that what I think it is? No, Siri.
Is that what... Have there been any reports of one of the animals attacking a guard recently?
Not that I've heard of.
So this may not be a guard at all, but somebody dressed as one. Perhaps this might shed a little light on the matter of the hat.
Now remember...
It's a missing uniform.
Stolen from a guard's locker in the detention center corridor on March 26th. A guard's uniform is missing.
Take that!
So, no guards have reported being attacked by an animal as far as we know. But we did hear about a guard's spare uniform being stolen. Could the person in the security footage perhaps be someone disguised as a guard?
Oh, that could have been Carcerado.
Oh boy. Someone attempting to escape without being noticed?
A guard disguise? I guess it might work. Wait, weren't we just talking about someone?
We were indeed. Someone who seems to have successfully made his escape. We had assumed that it was Knight in the security footage.
Well, it was a cell. It's hardly a crazy theory.
Perhaps, but now that we know about the hole under the bed, it is no longer the only possibility. Whoever had access to the tunnel could very well be the one caught on camera.
And who was that, Mr. Edgeworth? Do you care to tell the court who you believe this person to be?
The person in the security footage is Rocco Carcerado.
Take that!
I believe I know who our guard in disguise is. It is none other than Rocco Carcerado, the prisoner who recently escaped from this facility. I'm confident it's him because he was assigned a polar bear cub as his companion.
Give me 2 seconds here. 3, 2, 1. Anyway, let's go.
But the bear in that video is all black.
Indeed, and we have evidence that explains why. The evidence that explains the polar bear's dark fur is the mud.
It's the mud. Okay, it's either the glove or the mud. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's the glove because it's got mud on it, right? Let me try it.
Take that!
Ding dong.
Recall, if you will, Mr. Frank saw its testimony.
Well, that's a rubber glove I dropped.
Would you care to explain why it's so dirty?
No, of course. So that's mud from one of the pet treatments I've been practicing. I was giving one of the animals a mud pack right when the incident happened.
I see. Around what time would this have been?
Let's see, the show had already started, so around 9 a.m. perhaps? The thing is, the more mud I applied, the more in the zone I got, and the darker the animal's fur became. There's no trance quite like the trance one enters when one slathers an animal with thick black mud.
While the circus performance was underway, he was giving one of the animals a mud pack treatment.
And that the animal could have been...
Indeed, our polar bear.
Overruled. Mr. Edgeworth, your latest assertion simply introduces yet another contradiction. The footage from the security camera...
Objection! I fully understand, Your Honor, and your doubts are entirely justified. Mr. Saut mentioned applying the mud pack while the circus performance was underway. And this does indeed introduce a new contradiction concerning the security footage.
It does?
Yes, let's put it this way. When would you expect the footage to have been recorded, Kay?
Hang on a second. Yeah, look at this footage of a detention center holding. Yeah, whatever.
If it was taken right after he applied the mud pack treatment, it should have been around 9 a.m.
In which case, something isn't right about the footage.
Really? And what's that?
What new contradiction does the security footage introduce relative to when it was recorded?
Oh, it's 6 o'clock in the damn
6:42.
morning.
Take that!
Mr. Saut said he administered the treatment at around 9 a.m., in which case the security footage should also show a time of around 9. However, the timestamp says 6:42 a.m. On the day of the murder, the prisoners all went out to the yard to watch the circus. All except 3, Mr. Canis, who remained in the cell in maximum security, Mr. Saut, who was administering a mud pack treatment in the workshop, and Rocco Casarato, who had been awaiting that precise moment to put his escape plan into action. I believe he entrusted the bear to Mr. Saut before entering the tunnel. And the bear then slipped out of Mr. Saut's grasp to run after its human. Mr. Saut would have then left the workshop to pursue the bear, at which point he saw Mr. Canis' dog retrieving the murder weapon from Knight's body. It all fits perfectly, except for the security footage, which should have been recorded from around 9 a.m. However, the timestamp is 3 hours off.
Why would the timestamp be wrong?
Detective, I would like you to have the security camera examined. Right away, please.
You got it, sir. I'm back, sir. I just talked to the guards, and seems like the time codes can slip on these cameras if they lose power. Lose power? What?
Uh-oh. What?
They're pretty old, sir. Guess the clock stops when the power's off.
Which would mean the power was off for approximately 3 hours at some point.
Well, I bet you they turned off that electric fence to get the animals in, right?
Uh-oh. Security camera footage data updated in my organizer. The timestamp is off due to a 3-hour gap in the footage. This was actually recorded around 9 a.m.
That's not all, sir. You remember how Knight denied stealing the keys? No one believed him, considering, well, you know, he seemed like the only suspect.
Kinda like the only suspect.
Whatever, fine. Turns out, that wasn't all he said. He also said he was knocked out cold, just like the other guy.
Which may not necessarily have been a lie.
Dollars, there you all are.
Oh, boy.
Investigation. Is there anything I can do to pass things along?
Actually, there might be something we can do for you, Warren Lagarde. The escapee, Mr. Carcerato, I believe he may still be on the premises. He is disguised as a guard. Here's the proof, should you need it. We're reasonably certain that the person captured on this tape is our man. And if I'm correct, he might even be right here in this room with us now.
Hey, Mr. Carcerato would have been wearing a bracelet, right?
Yes, a bracelet that could easily be hidden under the sleeves of a stolen uniform. Furthermore, the doors out of the prison proper don't have those sensors that detect the bracelets installed. So if he avoided doors with sensors, he could simply wait for an opportunity to finally make his escape.
I suppose he could. He just had to avoid direct shots in the cells and... Oh my! He's one of you, isn't he? He's here right now.
Uh-oh.
Look, it's Teddy!
Oh.
Hey, what off? Get your mitts off of me, you big palooka.
Thank you, Teddy. Very kind of you to confirm our suspicions.
Dang it, kid. If it wasn't for you, I'd have...
What a thing it is to be loved, huh, Mr. Carcerado? I'm almost envious.
Good! Apprehend this man!
A moment, if you will. I have some questions for our would-be escapee. If we are to learn the truth, I will need to speak with him. With your permission, of course.
I can only say no now, can I?
Well, come on then. Hit me with your best shot.
Mr. Carcerado's escape route led directly into Knight's cell, so it's highly possible he has something to offer. Tell me what you were doing on the day Mr. Knight's body was discovered. Okay, here we go. Round 2. Fight! Around the time of discovery.
So it was you guys, huh? You're the ones who found my secret getaway tunnel. You know how long it took me to dig that freaking thing? Had me a guard's uniform, a whole dog, and a plan in place. So I went for it on the day you found the guy. And then this little guy just had to come right after me. The sack of fur was covered in mud, too. Had to go back to our cell. I would have gotten away with it if somebody had an off night and brought you bums down here.
You claim to have dug that tunnel just now. How exactly did you do it?
Oh, used everything I get my hands on, see? Hammers, spoons, you name it. Spent every time I had on this conker made me fix it. And what do I got to show for it now, huh?
Do not be disheartened, friend. Tomorrow is another day. There is an outside chance Mr. Carcerado and Knight met face to face just before Knight's death. I should see what other details I can extract from him. All right, get story mode out here. Time for rebuttal. Time discovery.
You guys, huh? You're the ones who found my secret getaway tunnel. You know how long it took me to dig that freaking thing? Had me a guard's uniform, a whole dog, and a plan in place. So I went for it on the day you found the guy.
Hold it!
Hold it. Uniform, was that from the fixer too?
Huh? Sure was. Thought he had some on one of the guards. Had the guy swipe it from a pail's locker.
And were you wearing it when you were crawling through the tunnel?
Nope. Would have got dirt on it. Had to hold on to it until I got to the holding cell. Once I was out of there and all dressed up, opening the cell door should have been a piece of cake. Here we go, I think, freedom beckons. And then a furball here just jumps up at me.
Which would be the moment captured on camera. I see. I'd be grateful if you could add that to your testimony.
Once I was out of that tunnel all dressed up, opening the cell door should have been a piece of cake. Actually, no, it shouldn't have. The keys were missing.
Objection! You claim that leaving the holding cell would have been a piece of cake, as you put it.
Yeah, got a problem with that? Because we can make it a problem if you catch my drift.
Even once you had reached Knight's cell, you still had another door to contend with. How exactly did you plan on opening it? Mr. Carcerado, I posit that leaving the cell would have been a piece of cake only because you had the key.
Dude, I don't got no stinking key. I didn't need one. It's a piece of cake because the door was open. I walked right out.
Objection! Yes, I suppose Knight's cell was vacant by that point. There would have been no reason to lock it. And it was indeed unlocked when I went to examine it for myself. So perhaps when you'd finally succeeded today, it truly was unlocked because it was after the murder. But you had attempted to escape previously.
Yeah, the security footage shows when you tried it failed because Teddy caught you.
Which was during the circus performance before the body was discovered. The holding cell was still locked at that time because no one knew that Knight had been killed yet. Therefore, you must have had the key to his cell on you. Without it, your escape would not have been possible.
Are you saying? Could he really have?
I believe he could, yes. The theft of the keys was, in fact, perpetrated by none other than Mr. Carcerado. He is the one who attacked the guard. But not just the guard, Knight too. All to gain possession of the guard's keys.
It wasn't me, you lousy bum. I didn't even know this night guy.
Objection! After you stole the keys, you went back to your cell to avoid suspicion. And then you waited for the perfect moment to escape, a moment when the prison would be almost deserted. That's right, the moment of the show, just before the discovery of the body. Unluckily for you, that particular attempt was thwarted by your furry friend.
Hold it. Said who, huh? You got proof, genius? This ain't your win. This ain't your win yet. Nuh-uh. Knight knocked the guard out for the count, and everybody knows it.
Objection! Don't play games with me. Knight was as much a victim as the guard in this case. As a matter of fact, I have proof that Knight had been attacked in his cell.
He
Well,
suffered a
what would that
blow
be?
to the head.
Take that!
That proves it?
Nope, indeed it does.
Yes, I think I see it. Very victimy. Very victimy indeed.
Overruled. Mr. Edgeworth, this piece of evidence is utterly meaningless.
Really? Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
If only she were here. I have to try and recall the evidence we found in Knight's cell. There is something in there that suggests what must have really happened between the two of them.
I guess you had nothing after all, huh?
As a matter of fact, I have proof that Knight had been attacked in his cell.
So, okay, what evidence did we find in his cell? We had prison roll call, we had the prison search, had the chess diagram. Oh, who's next? Rook, pawn to G6. Now, it could have been that there was the white floor or Mr. Saut's bracelet, but I'm going to say it was the floor. Yeah, he wiped up the floor.
We found traces of Knight's blood on the cleanly wiped floor of his cell. What could possibly explain such a thing other than him having been attacked? And it was you who attacked him. You ambushed the both of them and stole the keys.
Why, I oughta. What's with you, huh? That newspaper wiped that blood up good. Ain't no way you should have found it.
Okay, but why did you think you had to wipe it up anyway?
Yeah, good question, dumbass.
If they checked Knight in the God's hands, they would have seen those two never came to blows. But that blood would give up the whole game. Ain't no way they don't figure there was a third man in the ring. Plus, once they started sniffing around on the floor, they'd have found the tunnel in a heartbeat.
So you wiped up the blood to buy yourself a little more time so you could wait for a better opportunity? Sadly, the opportunity you sought wasn't good enough to get you clear of the prison, it seems. Now, hand over the keys!
Right in the kisser.
It's like playing Punch Out.
Knockout.
KO'd by a lousy, stinking bum. Fine. You want keys? Here. Hope you choke on them.
Mr. Knight's cell key data updated to my organizer. A guard was attacked the day before the murder, and his keys were stolen. They were found in Carcerado's possession.
Overruled. Wait a moment. If Mr. Carcerado here had the keys...
Indeed, Your Honor. Your theory relies on Knight having used the keys he allegedly stole to escape his cell. That was the only way he would have been able to enter Mr. Saint's cage and be moved to the workshop. Unfortunately for you, we now know that the theory cannot possibly be true.
No.
Guess this changes things up a bit, yeah? Now the only person who could have moved Knight's body is the one person who knew about that tunnel. No, you gotta be freaking Mr. Carcerado. You're under arrest. Come quietly now, pal.
Well, wait, you got the wrong guy. I didn't do nothing. All right, fine. I knocked those two chumps out, and I stole the keys. But after that, I went right back to my cell and waited for my moment. Next time I went to Knight's cell, there was nobody around. And I mean nobody. Plus, his body was found in the workshop. You think I just magicked my way in there or something? I couldn't even have gotten out of my cell.
Indeed. You only had the key to Knight's cell. You couldn't have left your own cell back in the prison. But Mr. Canis's dog could.
What?
It was not you, but Helmet who moved the body from your cell to the workshop.
I get it now. You're saying he wasn't the only con in this conspiracy.
Indeed. One can easily imagine that Mr. Carcerado and Mr. Canis might have worked together. Mr. Carcerado could have killed Knight and dragged him back to his cell.
And then Mr. Canis's dog took him from there to the workshop.
There are no restrictions on the animal's movements within the prison. Movement between the detention center and the prison proper, however, is tightly controlled. There was only one possible route, and only you could have taken advantage of it, Mr. Carcerado.
Hold it. How can you be so sure, huh? Maybe there's more of him and you just don't know.
Something tells me that digging even a single tunnel was arduous enough.
You got that right. You tried scraping more than one hole in the dirt. With a spoon. Lucky for me, I didn't have to dig the whole way. Somebody already did a bunch of the work for me.
What? You didn't dig the entire tunnel yourself?
Nope. Found it when they put me in that cell. Oh. Ran all the way from there to the well in the yard already. Even looked down the well to check it from there. It's the same tunnel, all right. I just made good on what somebody else already started. Oh.
Then what was the original tunnel for?
Who knows? You're the one with all the answers, pal. Maybe somebody else tried to break out.
Ooh, or maybe the animals dug it. Like, to get water from the well or something.
I've heard of more plausible scenarios than that in B-grade movies, Kay.
Well, that's right, kid. Ain't no water to be had down there. Though, come to think of it, the smell. Yeah, we smell kind of nice down there.
Wait, do you think Fifi Lagarde had perfume on her or something? Or anything else? It could have smelled perfume. I don't know. Nice.
Gee, I don't know. Smells sort of like dessert, I guess.
Oh, the cake. A sweet scent. That sounds very familiar. Where did we come across a sweet scent before?
On Mr. Knight's body.
Take that!
Detective Gumshoe noticed a sweet smell when we were examining Knight's body. With the help of a police dog, we followed the scent of the body and traced its route back to the prison. And that, Mr. Carcerado, was how we found your tunnel. Could that same sweet scent be what you noticed coming from the well?
Very clever, Mr. Edgeworth. You mean to suggest that this is evidence of the body having been moved through the tunnel?
I do. Furthermore, Mr. Carcerado, you are the only person who could have done it. Nobody else had access.
You have our thanks, Mr. Carcerado. Truly. Finally, the truth comes into view. Now, unburden yourself. It is time. Confess your role in this tragic incident.
What? You ain't pinning this on me.
I am glad to see that we are finally in agreement, Your Honor.
Oh, if only we were, Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Carcerado may have been an accomplice, but not of Mr. Canis. No, he was working with Mr. Knight.
Hold it!
Hold it! What do you mean?
I do not believe that he moved Mr. Knight's body. Instead, I believe that he lent Mr. Knight the use of the keys he stole. You gotta be kidding me! Granted, it seems likely that he attacked Mr. Knight. But that doesn't necessarily mean that Mr. Knight was not unconscious as a result. And what if he wasn't? What if he and Mr. Carcerado had reached a certain agreement?
What kind of agreement exactly?
Mr. Knight was plotting an escape for which he required a means of leaving his cell. And here was that precise means in the form of the keys Mr. Carcerato had just stolen from the guard. Mr. Carcerato himself would need to pass through Mr. Knight's cell in order to effect his own escape. Mr. Knight needed only to shout and alert the guards, and Mr. Carcerato's plans would be ruined. And so, the two struck a deal.
Hold it! Lady, the only striking I do is with my fists.
My. Still you deny it?
So, we're agreeing that we still disagree?
Mr. Knight had Mr. Carcerato unlock his cell so that when Mr. Saint arrived, he could escape into the cage. Mr. Saint was then able to move him into the prison proper just as planned.
Aha! And then he took Mr. Knight into the workshop and did the dirty deed.
Objection! Were neither of you listening? The scent on Knight's body proves that it was taken through the tunnel. It was moved from his cell to the...
Overruled. Perhaps if you would let me finish, Mr. Edgeworth. I am not denying that Mr. Knight's body was moved through the tunnel.
Then what are you driving at?
Is this a trick question?
As you say, Mr. Edgeworth, the sweet scent shows the route the body took. However, it did not enter the tunnel from Mr. Knight's cell. Huh? Then how did it get down there? There is another possibility, one you seem to have overlooked.
Hold on a second. It did not enter the tunnel. Okay, whatever.
The well in the yard. Could a body not have entered the tunnel from there? The well in the yard? Oh yeah, that thing! Mr. Saint did not take the cage to the workshop. He took it outside. There, he killed Mr. Knight and threw his body down the well. Mr. Canis's dog then dragged Mr. Knight's body here to his owner's cell from the bottom of the well. On that note, I would ask you to recall something. What was happening in the yard at the approximate time of the body's discovery? The circus show, right? Reginald and Simeon were performing for everyone. Wait. Simeon! Indeed. And so you see how it must also have been him who disposed of the body.
Judge Gavelle is a truly formidable opponent. She so effortlessly adjusted her theory to fit the facts.
I propose that Mr. Knight was taken to the yard. I propose that Mr. Knight was taken to the yard, not the workshop. And as we have established, Mr. Saint was off stage for 15 minutes. Ample time to throw the body down the well. I am sure you will agree.
Objection! Your deduction is impressive, Your Honor. However, even supposing that Knight's body was indeed thrown down the well, you cannot conclusively say that it was during the show. It could have happened at a different time.
Overruled. My sympathies, Mr. Edgeworth, but it simply could not have.
What?
Mr. Carcerato was using the tunnel at around the time the show began. Mr. Carcerato, did you happen to trip over a corpse while you were down there?
No. Place was clean.
If the body had been at the bottom of the well before the show began, Mr. Carcerato would have seen it. However, he saw no such thing.
Oh, she's good.
which makes it somewhat difficult to support your theory. Furthermore, Mr. Knight's body was discovered in the workshop after the show. In summary, the body must have been thrown down the well and moved to the workshop at some point during the show. Tell me, who else could have done that but Mr. Saint?
No!
What do we do, Mr. Edgeworth?
If the body did indeed enter the tunnel from the well, things don't look good for Mr. Saint. Still, Your Honor, your theory is still just that, a theory. And I posit that you lack the evidence to back it up.
I concede that, for the moment, I do not.
May I suggest that we investigate the yard again?
Very well. May the goddess of justice go with you.
Now then, to the yard. Perhaps we can finally put this case to rest.
It's the son of the police.
What's that sound?
Yikes! Is there a fire?
Did somebody else escape? Should we maybe skip town too? Hold it.
Who's that? Moment. On a start. Talent, please. S'il vous plaît, there's nothing to be alarmed about. Which means that he's not alarmed, he's sitting up. Also, it's supposed to set the alarm in if you aren't used to it.
You certainly scared the heck out of me.
I'm so sorry, Sweet Pea. I hope you can forgive us. Alright, you two, back to your posts. Chop chop.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And as for you, Rocco Castrato, it's time you went back to your room.
Yeah, fine, I get the picture. Come on, Teddy, we're out of here.
Warden Lagarde, we'd like to take one more look around the yard now.
Oh, Talent, did you have films of your own to go to? Listen, I was over, I'm afraid. Tomorrow,
No! It's imperative that we investigate it right away!
I think we had quite enough excitement for one day, don't you? Murderers, escapees, so eventful.
She is mad.
sus.
She is mad sus.
She's hiding something.
It's time our guests went up to Betty Pies, isn't that? Yes, we it is. Come on now, darling, don't make me bore you with all that I want to understand all the old nonsense.
Warden Lagarde is right. Her word is law here, and we must respect her wishes. Mr. Edgeworth, your investigation of the yard will have to wait until tomorrow. You may keep your badge for now. The matter of your standing can wait. I bid you all good day.
And there she goes, along with Eustace.
Let's see what the fuck get the cans. Off you go.
Fine. At least there is a tomorrow for me. Judge Gavelle believes that Knight's body was dropped down the well, and then taken through Mr. Carcerato's cell to the workshop. But is that truly the case? Did the facts really support her theory? She also seems to believe Mr. Saint had to be the one to move the body. But was he really the only one with the opportunity to do so?
Come on, Mr. Edgeworth. Tomorrow's another day. We'll figure out a way to save Simeon. I know we will.
Yes, we will. I will prove that Mr. Saint is innocent beyond a shadow of a doubt.
To be continued. Yeah, you know what? We finally made it. Let's wrap it up, kids.
Yep.
So there you have it. So we're recreating. Oh, crime scene recreation. Ooh, does that mean we're gonna run into Little Thief?
Oh, I think so, folks.
Wouldn't be a Miles Edgeworth investigations game without Little Thief to help us. So tune in next week for the thrilling conclusion, I am sure, of The Captive Turnabout. And don't forget to check out our other shows as well. And check the Facebook for all the updates. Check the Twitch page for a schedule. I'll be sure to post one. And until next time, I'm the Cannonball Alex Steele.
I am the Package Andrew Steele.
We are the Steel Twins,
and we are for real. Top guys
out.
Out.
Ciao.
Adios, muchacho.